Hello YouTubers and welcome to an exciting day today. We're actually at a boat club where, believe it or not, you get boats and you put them on the water, which is over there. It's not looking fantastic today, but I just want to say two things and you know what they might be before we get into what's going on for the rest of the day. I would really appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you have already hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate if you hit the like button. But now we're going to get into two big things today, probably related to the title. Number one, we're here at Bath Minerva Rowing Club, Bath Rowing Club, to rig up a boat so that we're not so that we're not wasting time trying to set the boat up, get it ready when we do finally get on the water. So it's dry today, it was kind of dry yesterday. The water is lowering gradually, so fingers crossed we'll be able to get on the water very soon. And the next part of the day, I'm getting a body scan done. So my body fat, body weight, parts of my body, so muscle mass, base metabolic rate, all of that stuff, see how many calories that I need to consume just to stay maintaining my weight without exercise. So we'll see how that goes as well at the gym. But now let's get on to a boat rigging montage. Oh yeah! And we haven't been out in the boat yet, but Yam has managed to slaver on it. As you can tell, we've rigged it up for a double, or two people that scull in one boat. And for those of you that don't know, sculling involves two oars, two blades, rather than what I'm generally used to and what I've spent a lot more time doing, using one blade. So the two blades are smaller than using the one blade, but you use one hand on each of those smaller blades rather than two hands on the big one. But basically trying to improve the sculling technique so I can get into the single a little bit more, onto the water over there, which isn't looking fantastic, but at least it's a bit flat, just with the stream and the debris coming down and the height of the water still looking a bit flooded. So we won't be getting out today, but like I said, using our time wisely, getting the boat ready to rock so that instead of spending an extra hour or so rigging the boat up pre-outing, it's sorted and we can just hop in and go. So hopefully Charlie gets her rigging done today, which should be done, but we're rigging it for the setting of fast, so fingers crossed for that, Yam squad. But now we're going to continue with the rest of the day and we're going to head to the gym and get the body scanning done. So I'm pretty excited for that, because with the new training program that I've been doing over the last now 2 months, it's going to be interesting to see if my body has changed a little bit. I feel like it has, but we'll see what the numbers say. So I have done the body scans previously, but last one I think was last summer. So it won't be like sort of saying what I was at the beginning of the season to what I am now, but we can still see some differences in what's happening, and then hopefully in the future we can kind of see, okay, well, this is what you were in February, what are you like at race time, maybe June, July-ish. But we've got Yam out here as well. Yam! What are you saying, Yam? Oh. And he's, like I said, drooled on the boat already. So now, like I said, we're going to get to the gym and we're going to get scanned. And then we've got a lovely, lovely, lovely 30k to do today. Oh yeah! And we've made it to the gym. Now it's time to get the scan done, and then we'll, after the scan, compare where it was before and see kind of where I'm looking to go, what I'm looking to improve on, and seeing what the numbers mean. So let's get to it. And we've made it into the gym. This is the machine right here. Stand on there, you hold these things, and then it spits out some numbers. So let's get the numbers. And we've made it outside of the gym. We've got the numbers. So basically, we're getting bigger. Since the last, so I did one of these in August, and I've gained some weight. Gained about 4 kilos, so today was 102.5, but that can vary quite a bit depending on the time of day, depending on the training that day, etc. But it is higher than the last time. The last one was 98.9. My muscle mass has increased from 49.6 to 50.9, so a 1.3 kilo increase there, so that's pretty good. Body fat has increased 0.6%, so I'm at 13% body fat, which for the amount of volume I'm doing, that is wonderful, that's fine. I've not got the other one to compare to, so there's loads of stuff you can like look at, sort of the muscle mass in the arms, the legs, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg, trunk, and you can look at your sort of phase angles, your muscle fat analysis, your obesity analysis, loads of different things to see how you're doing as a person. So your total body water, 65 kilos, intracellular water, 40, extracellular water, 24, but loads of things like that you can look at. Now, like I said, we're going to get the other one and we're going to compare the two together probably tomorrow to see if there's any big changes, but basically everything has went up, or everything that's supposed to go up has went up. And also what was interesting as well, last time with my right and left leg were pretty different in their lean and their muscle mass analysis, and today they're pretty much exactly the same, so that's pretty good. So there's a little bit of unbalance there, but we're back to being balanced, which is absolutely fantastic. But there's a little bit of unbalance to sort of upper and lower gains, so a little bit bottom heavy. Is that how am I reading that right? Maybe it's, but it says unbalanced, but that's not too bad. Hopefully I would like to think that the bottom half, my legs and trunk, would be more than my upper body. But one of the big numbers, the recommended calorie intake. So this isn't my base metabolic rate, this is my recommended calorie intake if I'm not exercising that day, which is 3,437 calories every single day if I'm not training. And so that means if it's 3,400 calories, today I've got weights, 30k on the erg, and a 70-minute cardio session. I'm probably on the bike tonight. And it's generally kind of what I'll be doing through most of this big block. As you have seen with me Yam Squad, this is a high volume, low intensity training block, but there's a lot of calories burned, there's a lot of time on the erg, even if it is low intensity. So with today, weights, it's about a 90-minute session, a lot of power involved, a lot of reps, around 1,000 calories burned. Then you've got the 2-hour or the 30k, roughly about 32k erg. That is 1,500 plus calories, so you're already at 2,500 calories. Then you've got the 70-minute bike, or 70-minute erg depending on the day, roughly 1,000 calories. So you're at 3,500 calories there, plus the recommended calorie intake, 7,000 calories. Then that's just to maintain, if I'm trying to keep the muscle gain going, my body wants more fuel, my body wants to keep building, so to give it the opportunity to build, I have to keep fueling up properly and keep giving my body enough fuel. And so, just using today for example, I'm going to have to be eating around 7,500-8,000 calories to make sure that I'm in that calorie surplus for today, to make sure my body's getting enough, so that not only is it enough for building the body, improving and giving enough fuel, but also making sure that for the next day of training I'm not lacking energy because of the previous day. So today is a big feed day, if I was to ever say one, but It's I would say that's one of the it's not difficult, it's difficult in a different way to sort of say a 30k erg. It's, you can sit and eat as much as you like, and sometimes, so for example, if I'm trying to eat relatively clean, it can be quite difficult. So a kilo of rice and a kilo and a half of chicken and some sausages that's not 7,000 calories. So adding more, even adding veg, obviously adding veg is going to add that to the calories, but that's very low calories. So then you start to look at dirty foods, or foods that aren't necessarily as clean, but they can really help bump the calories up. So you can have a tub of Ben & Jerry's, that's about 1,500 calories, but then that's a lot of sugar, a lot of fat, and it's things that you actually want to put into your body that you want to help build. But sometimes on, say, days like this where I do have to eat 7,000 calories at minimum, it is sometimes a case of, well, being clean might not be happening today, but if I can stay clean most of the time throughout the week, then that's going to be better. If I say, okay, I have to be clean, but then don't hit the calorie number, and then end up fading through the rest of the week because I didn't hit that number, but stayed clean, if that makes sense. So it's a bit of a sort of compromise to hit those numbers and making sure I'm keeping sort of maintained throughout the day, but hopefully we'll get the other results as well to really compare sort of like I said, there was a bit of an imbalance with the legs last time, and that's balanced out, which is really cool. And there's other things like body stress there that was measured, and it looks like it's relatively low, which is quite good with the increased volume. So you want to make sure that I'm reasonably recovered, reasonably ready to go each session, rather than holding on through this big training block. But that will be it for the sort of analysis. So the big numbers, big takeaways. So I've gained a little bit of weight, gained some muscle mass, a little bit of body fat, so sitting at 13% body fat, and the caloric intake for me today is about 7,000 calories, and that's the maintenance calories, not the surplus calories, which, well, it's going to be a big day of food, because remember, food is fuel. But now, after the scan, it's time to head to, it's an absolutely beautiful day, just hopefully the Yam Squad are appreciating it wherever you are. Hopefully there is some sun somewhere where you are, but obviously not everyone gets sun where they are, because we have different weather systems in different locations in the world. But now we have 30k to do on the rowing machine, or at least 2 hours on the rowing machine. I think actually we're going to head onto the Row Perfect this time instead of the rowing machine, but we'll see when we get to the Yam Cave. So let's get to it. And we've made it into the Yam Cave for a 2 hour, 120 minute Row Perfect this time. Just varying up a little bit, because remember, variation is one of the keys to motivation, with not only varying the machine but varying what we're watching. So no Star Trek today because Charlie isn't on the erg today. He's inside recovering, making sure he's alright. But we've got some of the world's most extraordinary homes, so in 2 hours might make it through 3 episodes. 3.5 episodes even, quick maths. But now to hop on the erg /or Row Perfect right here, get my heart rate monitor on, sticking in the 130 zones. So actually there's no screen on this Row Perfect because it doesn't work. So we're going purely on heart rate on this one, but I want to have it so similar to what it was on the rowing machine, so around 130, because that's what we're working on, not necessarily the speed or the split like I've been trying to say lately. Just working on that heart rate, because when we're in the heart rate, we are more likely to be contributing to the right fitness zones, energy zones, and as well with such a long erg, so 2 hours or a long session, it's going to burn a lot of calories. So after this, fueling up is very important. Like I mentioned earlier with the post-scanning results, I'm going to be needing a lot of food today, or a lot of food tonight. So we've got some good food plans tonight, but that's for future Yam Squad to look forward to. We've got some Row Perfecting to do, so let's get to it. And we've finished the 2 hours on the machine. Always a pleasure to be able to do 120 minutes. Always a privilege to be able to sit on the machine and do 120 minutes to go to get some fitness from the Yam Cave. Oh yeah, but a little bit on the row perfect. For me, it's not, I wouldn't say a struggle, but it's definitely a big difference, obviously, to the Concept 2. It's a very big difference. It's a dynamic machine. It doesn't use different muscles per se, but uses them in a different way. So it's like if you were to do anything for the first time in a while, it takes a little bit to get into it, and that was a bit today. So maybe 2 hours wasn't the best idea to do the first workout on the row perfect, but managed, survived, and just knowing for the next time, get onto it, knowing more what to expect, but keeping the consistency going to make sure that I'm not used to it. But for those that don't know, you've got the Concept 2 here, and you've got the row perfect there. The row perfect is a dynamic machine and is meant to be more similar to rowing on the water. So that's why we're trying to go, or I'm trying to do a little bit more on the row perfect here. And then the Concept 2, old trusty, because remember erg is bay, but it's, you pretty much get the same at all times on a Concept 2, regardless of where, when it is. And that's a little bit of the difficulty with, say, like a row perfect. It's a little bit more sensitive, and that can be one of the problems with it. So just making sure it's set up for you, really, whether that's a different height for you or different things, whereas the Concept 2 is very set. You can't really adjust too much. But 2 hour session, that means I've burned a lot of calories already today. I've had a weight session, had this session, and I've got a steady bike, probably bike this evening. So like I said, I'm going to have to really focus on fueling up, and one of the best ways to do that is attend an all-you-can-eat place that offers all-you-can-eat food. So bringing back the American uni days where I used to have, I think it was a Tuesday, used to have all-you-can-eat wings. There's a place in Bath that offers all-you-can-eat wings on a Wednesday. So we're heading there tonight with some of the lads, which doubles up as an opportunity to socialise, but also an opportunity to make sure I'm trying, or at least getting close to hitting that 8,000 calorie target that I have today. Because like I said, with the scan, it's about 3,400 calories minimum without exercise, plus today's big sessions, roughly, so 2 hours on the machine. So roughly, if we were to do a Concept 2 machine, 32k, but it's 2 hours. According to my watch, it was a 127 average heart rate, so really in the right zones, the aerobic zones, and also burning around 1,500 calories. So 1,500 calories for 2 hours on the machine. About 1,000 for weights, big session like I said earlier, and then roughly 1,000, maybe a little bit less for the bike tonight. But I don't want to be just maintaining at about 7,000, just shy of 7,000. I want to be gaining, so we'll be trying to eat as much as I can. So far today, I've been on a pretty good eating regime, but I'm going to keep that going and really boost that up with some all-you-can-eat wings tonight. So, as always, Yam Squad, I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Something a little bit different. I'm really looking forward to getting out on the water. So the boat is ready to go. So hopefully at any point, like today was decent weather, but the water itself is still pretty high and still pretty rubbish and getting a lot of debris. Don't want to send out a new boat and get it destroyed in that first outing. And getting the body scan done as well. Giving that a little bit of an insight on how my body is doing and where, sort of a benchmark of where I am now versus where I will be later. So hopefully I'll be getting these done every so often. And so stay tuned, stay subscribed. Subscribe if you haven't already for that, to follow me. So I think after this, so if we're already 3 weeks into this, or 2 weeks into this 12-week block. So after this 12-week block, we're going to do that again and then see if there's been any changes with the pretty outrageous amount of mileage that's going on. And remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode, Yam Squad, where hopefully we have a fantastic day. Oh yeah!